Welcome, everyone. My name is Lauren Daly. My friends call me LB. I am the founder of virtual sales training company Factor 8, and you have found our monthly sales shot. We are getting this party started by opening up your chat, please, because I'm going to quiz you throughout. And in the meantime, I'm going to ask you to please share where you're from and your favorite beach in the world, whether you've been there or just because you want to go there. But what we're going to talk about today is a surefire method to get incredible leads, and it's about asking for referrals. Now, a lot of people talk about this, and a lot of us think in theory it's great, but we don't do it. I'm going to share why we don't do it, how we can get past it, and how to make sure the leads you get are actually good leads. Because I've had a lot of referral fails in my life. Right? Let's get past that. If you're new to Factor 8, here's a quick look at some of the companies we've had a pleasure to work with in the past. We're a 15-year-old company. We work with large and medium-sized companies with virtual sellers. So if you're a BDR, an SDR, an AE, an ISR, a lot of my folks today are probably account managers looking for referrals, or a frontline sales manager. That's where we focus. We do really super tactical training. And today I'm going to give you a taste of one of our probably 40 or 50 different modules out there that take you step by step and teach you how to do these skills. So that's right. What I'm doing today is fun. I call it edutainment. And it's going to give you some great ideas, but it's not going to teach you step by step how to implement it and build your confidence in implementing it until you go take the class. And that's what I want everybody to do at the end of this. If I prove to you we've got some good ideas and you're excited about going to get referrals, we'd love for you to please join us again. At factor8.com/shots, you can sign up for the next upcoming classes. So we're doing things about pitches this summer. Okay, we're going to talk about, I'm a guest with Pitchfire, our friends over there. They have this really cool channel where you pay to pitch people, which might seem weird, except that you can find your exact ICP and they take the meeting, like 600% more often they take the meeting. Anyway, we're going to grade good and bad pitches that come through their system. Then we're going to invite all of you to join us in the Greatest Pitch Ever contest. You can win $500 in free pitches. That might mean 30 meetings with ICPs. What would that do for your commission check? Especially if you know you've got the best one out there on the platform. And that's what I'm going to do, is show you those secrets. So sign up for those. And finally, super excited about this one. I'm teaming with my role model, Sherry Levitin, world-renowned speaker and author. And we're doing a deep train the trainer for our enablement friends. So if you've got friends in training, send that to them. And in the meantime, my hat's off to our Sales Shot leaderboard folks. We love having you here and love having you back. Make sure you open up and comment with us all the time. All right, the class I'm sharing with you today is part of our account manager certification, and it's called Gaining Referrals. It's available on the sales bar. You can get right to it at factor8.com/referral. And you're going to want to take this by then because there are many steps involved. Don't forget the discount code. So many of you go out there, but you forget the code, which works great for me. But I want you to take advantage of it too, okay? This is a 2 to 4 week system that we've put together to help you master this skill. Not get an idea or two if you think about it, but master the delivery of the skill. All right, here we go. What are the benefits? Why do we care about referrals? We all know we're supposed to, but why? All right, the first one is safety, and it's your very first pop quiz. Oh, thank you, Amy. Everybody check out those links. All right, safety. When we have more buyers in an account, my account managers, you all know this the best, right? Our contact leaves, it helps us win new business. What is the average number of people involved now in a sale? The answer you're going to give me is a number. Number of people involved in a sale. Chat that in. Let's see who wins the prize today. Hi, Scott Goodyear. Nice to see you here. This is always fun. Or don't be shy. Open up that chat, folks. Lauren has an out because she's driving today. Lauren Fisher, we recognize you. All right, who is brave enough? 15 says Sharon. Maureen says 6. It's definitely gone up in the last 4 years. I love it. 8, I'm feeling you. The answer is 6.8. So darn close. Maureen and Greg, the two of you together, nailed it. Scott, amazing. All right, let's talk about win rate. When people are referred by a friend, they are X more likely to make a purchase and X% faster close time. So Scott, let's see if you can come in before we give the answer this time. How many times more likely, so number X, and what percent, number percent, faster close rate? So you might type in 2X more likely and 10% faster. Those aren't the answers, by the way. What do you got for me out there? There we go. 29 times more likely to purchase, and it moves 25% faster. I like it. Maureen, 5 times more likely and 50% faster. Jamie, 5X, 25. Maureen is the closest right now. Anybody want to take up on that? Remember The Price is Right? Anybody else? Or somebody would bet $9.99 and then they're like $9.91 or $1. Anybody want to take off on Maureen's? The answer in 3, 2, 1. When people are referred by a friend, they are 4 times more likely to make a purchase. I'll take those odds. 4 times more likely. But get this, they close 70% faster. That's fantastic. It's nearly double. And I've experienced this. So when I founded Factor 8, before we had a marketing department or even had a decent website, all of my business came from referrals. Places who had our training, loved it, and called their buddies and said, you got to call LB, right? And when a lead would come in, it would close lightning fast. Why? Somebody already told them it was good. Somebody already told them it fit the problem. Somebody already told them they could trust me. They had a need. Let's get this going. It was more about scheduling than anything else. I want that for you too. All right, let's look at the value. Referred customers have a higher lifetime value. Isn't that interesting? And a lower churn rate. I'm not going to make you guess this one in the interest of time. Here we go. It is a 16% higher lifetime value. They're not huge, but yep, they're worth a little more. And an 18% lower churn rate. Now, when we're talking about thousands of accounts out there, right, you guys are being measured on your retention and your churn. That's worth it. That's nearly a 20% lower churn rate. So hopefully I've convinced you referrals are worth your time. And when you find a system like this to do this consistently, it's actually really fun. Like your first 2 will be stressful, right? Until you master it. And then you are going to freaking love this. Here we go. Shot number 1 that we're going to take. So if they're so good, why don't we get more referrals? Why aren't we all doing this every single day? I'm going to hit you right between the eyes with it because we're too damn chicken to ask. That's it. We're too damn chicken to ask. It's the same reason we don't cold call. It's the same reason we don't close. And what builds confidence in that? A system and some muscle memory. That's why it's so important to get mastery when you do these skills, okay? We practice it over and over and over again, so it feels natural when we get there and we don't choke, right? Just like an athlete. So, what percentage of customers are actually willing to refer us if they've had a good experience? Right? If we're going to ask, we'd like to think this number is higher than 5 or 6%, right? Anybody want to guess this one? In fact, if we're going to ask, I'd like to hope it's over half. That would feel good, wouldn't it? If you've spent time making outbound calls, even to warm leads, we know it's a numbers game. We know we're going to get a yes about 1 out of 5 to 10, maybe 15 times. Is it the same for referrals? Brian Peters going in strong with a 60%. What percentage of customers are willing to give a referral? Check with your own self. Brian, you're close, but it's actually higher, and that's great news, folks. Over 80% of customers are willing to give a referral if they've had a positive experience. That's phenomenal. I mean, I kind of wonder about that 20%. Was their experience really positive? Do they just not like you? Are they lazy? There's no excuse not to help people who we think are good, right? So here it is, shot number 2, folks. So why the hell don't we get more? Why? If they're 80% are willing to do it, why is my inbox not full? And here it is, because they ain't thinking about you or your quota. They celebrate your success. We recently announced this certification on LinkedIn. I mean, like 3,000 views before the end of the day, 50 comments. My texts are blowing up. Everybody's really excited, right? But nobody, not one, came to me and said, LB, you need to go call Brian Peters because he's got 100 virtual sales reps. And like most companies right now, only 50% of them are at quota. They could really use your help. Nope. I got to call each one of those people that were happy for me and say, thank you so much. Now, who do you know who? And I'll give you the rest of the formula as we keep talking, okay? You only get referrals if you ask. Maybe once in 15 years has somebody come to me out of the blue and said, in fact, no, maybe not just once. I got one just last week. Angus McGee, he raved about you. Says we've got to check you out. I mean, that's not bad, right? But it doesn't happen very often. All right, so let's get into this and how we do this. We got to do it right because there are wrong ways to ask and there are wrong times to ask. And maybe this is part of that 20% who don't say yes. So here we go. It's another quiz, folks. You got to pay to play or you got to play to get paid. Which is better? The customer ordered a product for their warehouse and it was delivered today. Do you call to ask for the referral today or in 2 weeks? I will stay and wait for that answer. Type it in for me. I've got one of each. One of each. Amy says today. Andrea says today. Oops, Amy says 2 weeks. Jamie's today. Brian's today. You're right, it does depend. I'm going to not make Amy wrong, okay? It does depend on what it was for. If they called you and they needed that part and you got it to them and you got it to them today, which was in time, hell yeah, you call today, okay? Because that's when they're happy. If they called and ordered this part and it goes into a machine and it's not even going to get installed until next week, you call in 2 weeks. I think you guys have got that. Let's do it again. The customer bought software licenses and the onboarding training happened today. Do you call today or do you call in 2 weeks? Sharon, first out of the gate with today. Maureen today. Francois is 2 weeks. Scott is today. Jamie is 2 weeks. I think the right answer may be both, but in this instance, I'm going to side with today. They're excited about it. Everybody went through training. There's a wonderful opportunity that when you call today and ask how it went, it's fresh. You know the training was good. You're going to get a raise. And that is what you're looking for here, folks. When will they raise more? Today, right after training, or in 2 weeks when they're out using it? Last one. The customer called with a complaint over the weekend. It was solved on the same day, right? Now it's Monday. You're in the office. You see what happened. Do you call them today or in 2 weeks? Maureen going 2 weeks. Danielle going today. I do love a controversy. Ladies, would you text fight it out? Because that would be fun. This one, I'm going to side with Danielle on today. Francois, you are 2 weeks every time, my friend. Let's get more urgency in there. I'm going to side with today because, again, a same call resolution, that makes somebody happy, doesn't it? If it wasn't solved yet, I wouldn't call asking for a referral. But when it was solved and it was solved quickly and they're happy about it, that's when you want to call. I know it's not crystal clear. In fact, here's a slide right out of the class that we cover. There's so many different parts to thinking about the timing, but the timing is critical. The whole part about this, is you want to catch them right when they realize the biggest value of your product or service. Does that make sense? If it was just shipped and they haven't used it yet, If your service was incredible and solved something for them, get there, right? Talk about showing up great too. You're checking in with them on how it went after that service sale over the weekend. But it depends, like delivery times might be different for you. Their feedback cycles, maybe they bought something for their customers and they won't know till their customers use it. Implementation timelines. You don't call the day after you sell the software. That could take 6 months to get up to speed. How often are they ordering? When are their busy periods? Is it an end of month or quarter? Is there year calendar or fiscal? Lots and lots of things can go into timing it. In the training, we'll walk you through each of these to help you, because getting the right referral is easiest when you set up the raise. And this is the whole crux. The best time to ask for a referral is immediately following a raise. So how do we get that raise? Well, first of all, let's define what the raise is, all right? Tell me if you know, type it in for me. What's SWIFT? Because raves use SWIFT language or SWIFT benefits. Who are my friends and family of Factor 8 out there who knows what a SWIFT is? What does that stand for? You might have heard me say the SWIFT 6. It's about what business people care about, and it stands for Danielle in it with, Danielle and Brian together again. Instead of so what's in it for me, that's with them, it's so what's in it for them. Yes, Maureen nails it in one. Thank you everybody for playing. This makes it so much more fun for me. The SWIFT 6 answers, so what's in it for them. Now, I've done this survey all over the world, literally tens of thousands of reps and managers, and said, what do business people care about? And every benefit in the world boils down to one of these 6. Now, we've got lots of classes on these to help you master it, but the cheat is this. If it's not including something from this list, it's probably just a feature or function. And people don't rave about features and functions. People rave about what it did for them. So how was our service and was it prompt is different than getting them to say, oh my God, it saved my life, right? I had egg all over my face, and thank God for you. You helped me be the hero. There it is, looking good. How about the training, right? The training was so fun and it was so good and your trainer was excellent. All those are features and functions. But you know what? It helps everybody really feel confident in this. You made it easy for us to start using this system. That's when it starts to mean something to somebody, right? Well, you can even go further. Yeah, you know what? Thank you so much for getting this to me on time. You helped me look good. You also helped me save time so that I could go do something else, right? People want to make more money or save more money. They want to get time back in their day. They want to hit the easy button. They want to be the hero. They don't want to worry about it going wrong or getting in trouble or getting the company in trouble. And they like to have control, right? Oh, that report you sent me really helped wrap my arms around what everybody was doing out there. And that's an intrinsic motivator for people. So the whole point here is to ask them what we call positive leading questions. The PLQs, we're going to go into it deep into the training, okay? But the PLQ helps uncover the rave. That's the trick most people miss. You don't go right in blind and be like, hey, Jamie, do you know anybody who needs da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da? Jamie might be a little put off by that. But when I remind Jamie how much she loves me and I get her to rave using one of the Swift 6 by asking a PLQ, now Jamie's feeling good about it and ready to give me that referral. Does that make sense? All right. That's the most important thing to remember that most people miss. The best time to ask for a referral is right after you get a rave. And are you just going to wait for them to rave? No, you got to set them up with the PLQ. Now, here's the second biggest mistake that people make is they're not really planning the ask. Hey, Jamie, do you have somebody to refer to me? What's she going to do with that? She doesn't spend all day thinking about my ICP. So you got to plan the ask, and the key to that is getting crazy crazy specific. You got to be crazy specific in your ask. And that doesn't make sense to a lot of people. So let me tell you a story. A part-time job I have is helping great people find companies and great companies find people. I've been around a long time and I know a lot of people in this world. And so they'll hit me up like, hey, can you help me find? I got one this morning. If you are an AE looking for a big money job, I got one for you. I just got to leave this morning. So people come to me when they're looking for a job, which is hard, right? Like you just been let go or downsized or you hated your boss and you quit and it feels emotional and people need help. And so the first question I always ask is, I'll pick on Danielle today with your name. Danielle, tell me about the perfect job. Like, tell me what is ideal for you. And that helps me find the right referral for Danielle, but I think it also helps Danielle feel good and put it out in the universe about what she wants. I believe in that stuff, right? But 9 out of 10 times what Danielle says back to me is, I mean, anything in sales. If it has anything to do with go-to-market, I've got it. And also, I appreciate the confidence. It doesn't help the listener help Danielle. It's not how adult minds work. You see, our brains are giant filing cabinets, right? It's why adults need to relate to things and practice things in order to learn and master. A kid will soak it up. The adult, unless you help me hit a file folder with it, I'm going to forget what you told me 90% of it by the end of the week, 50% before I walk out the door. Why video training doesn't work, folks. We got to interact to retain. And to use, we have to retain, okay? Anyway, what works better is when Danielle says, you know what? I am working in virtual sales, in software, or in SaaS. And what I'm really looking for is a senior AE or account manager position in a company that's got their Series B funding and looking to scale. Now that's specific, isn't it? But what happens is each one of those is a file folder in my head. SaaS, software, Series B, a senior level role, account manager. And those words all trigger memories for me of the last thing somebody said. Because nobody comes to me and says, hey, LB, I'm looking for positions. Anything in go-to-market will work. Does that make sense? You have to help them picture someone. And if you don't do this right, you're likely to get a testimonial, not a referral. Okay? So if I go to, let's pick somebody new named Brian, and say, hey, Brian, Factor 8 has the best training in the world for account managers. We get some really awesome results. Do you know anybody with account managers? Brian will be like, I will keep that in mind. Yeah, I'll keep my eyes open. Or, yeah, I love what you do for our account managers. Let me know if you need me to, give you a good testimonial. Let me know if you want me to talk to one of your customers. But that's not what we want, is it? We'd like a lead in pipeline, please. We'd like something with an actual number that we can put into the CRM and get some credit for it. We need a name. We need a situation. We need a number. So again, let's do an A/B test on how we get crazy specific about the contact. This is right from the training. Which one's better, A or B? A, who do you know who could use some really great quality, dependable furniture? Or B, who do you know in your work or friends or family who may also be planning a move or even a remodel this year, or maybe did it in the last 6 months? Which one wins? I mean, I think it's obvious, but I hope you felt the difference in your own head. Type it in for me, folks. A or B? Thank you, Francois. Nailed it. Good. Yeah. See how crazy specific that was? On this first one, do you know anybody who? Not really. But when I mention friends, family, or work who are moving or remodeling or did recently, your brain probably came up with somebody, didn't it? That's the key to getting people to actually snap on to somebody. Scott, you and I did that yesterday. Hopefully you're going to remember exactly how crazy specific we were, huh? All right. Each of these are 2 of the steps in the 4-step process for mastery and confidence, asking for referrals, okay? I know it can be a little bit confusing. I'm going to give you an overview of it, but the training will walk you through step by step so you feel really comfortable. Step 1 is you're bringing it up, right? Hey, Sharon, I'm just calling to make sure that you were really happy with my guys doing training last month. Then we do that positive leading question to get the rave. Ooh, I remember that speed was really critical, right? Or in my case, the training will say, ooh, I remember we're really focusing on activity. We saw a spike, didn't we? Tell me about that. How did that go for you? What did your boss think of the uptick? I'm pushing her towards those swift benefits, right? The raves are about what's in it for them, not just the feature or the function or the number. Then the third part, I repeat it. I am so happy that your boss thinks you're the hero. I am so happy that everybody got a bigger commission check thanks to this training. That's fantastic. I am thrilled to hear it. Now we go in for the ask. Sharon, do you know anybody else with teams of account managers? Maybe somebody you worked with in the past or an old boss who could also do with a spike in activity and commissions? Okay, I got her to rave, I repeated it, and then I asked for somebody else who could use the benefit. So not only was I specific about it, but it felt good to Sharon. Boy, who else do I love who wants more money? I'm pretty sure I can come up with somebody, right? But what's your top benefit? And could somebody else use that? Could somebody use crazy fast delivery? Could somebody use a cost savings? Could somebody else feel better about being protected from the risk that you provide? Could somebody use a faster speed to market so they can beat the competition? What's your benefit? And your PLQ uncovers it. You repeat it, and then you get crazy specific in your ask. 4 steps. Here's the extra shot. The rule of 3 to help them see. Okay? Does anybody remember the classic, I think it's 90s, maybe early 2000s movie of the rule of 3? This is important. Think about it. Big prize for the winner. It's from a classic movie, The Rule of 3. All right, so let's talk about it and show you what the rule of 3 looks like while you think about it and chat in your answer, okay? When you're getting crazy specific, give 3 examples, okay? People who love intros to Factor 8 are usually VPs of sales, CROs, or CMOs who own BDR teams. I could do the same with industry. People who love working with us are relatively new to virtual sales, and they have young sales teams. We see a lot of people now in pharmaceutical, in medical, in distribution, and manufacturing trying to make that move. Do you know any sales leaders in those industries? Getting it, guys? All right, here's another one. It's how I'm setting it up. By the way, nobody's guessed it yet. The rule of 3 is from American Pie, which also gives me my other favorite phrase. This one time at band camp. All right, here we go. The rule of 3. Teams where we make the biggest impact are AEs with huge growth goals, teams doing a new market expansion or a new logo acquisition. That time I gave 3 examples of a situation, and that's key. Okay, rule of 3, last example. Who else in your extended network has teams of 20 or more outbound sellers, or even field teams that have gone virtual and could use a quick list? Now, I'm giving all of these examples for my business. Your job is to turn that for you. Get crazy specific with titles, with situations, with industries. You're getting the idea, right? But ask it and set it up in a way. Steal these phrases, people who love us, the teams where we make it the biggest impact, right? Or who else in your network? Because sometimes starting it is the hardest part. Again, we'll walk you through it in the training. One more bonus chaser before I show you this training. If you ask for a name, you'll get a name. So get crazy specific instead. In our account manager certification, we're going to go through Referrals 101 and Referrals 201. Referrals 201 gets you past the ask and into getting a home run, because folks, the name is really just first base. In fact, to fully get safe on first, you're looking for not just a name, but contact info and permission to use their name. We've all done this before. Hey, who else do you know that's going to have big teams of AAs? Oh, you should call Bill Peterson at PCNA. I don't know who Bill is. Bill doesn't know who I am. Oh, wonderful. Thank you. You're connected with Bill? How do you know Bill? Let me have Bill's phone number, please. Let me have Bill's email, please. I'm going to reach out to Bill right away. Is it okay if I use your name? Okay, now that's a referral you can put in pipeline. You want to do even better? You're going to send the email for me introducing me to Bill. And if you want to nail that, write it for somebody. Even better, hey, do you see Bill a lot? Would you be willing to mention what we did for you? In fact, let's call Bill right now. Okay, get the raving to Bill for you. And that's the home run. And yes, it's possible. It just takes some mastery, and that takes some practice. Okay, so this is what it looks like on the sales bar. I'm going to show that to you one more time. Factory.com/referral. This isn't something you can just jump out and start crushing, and you don't want to waste the opportunity until you've really built the mastery and the confidence in the steps. And thank you, Michael, for that wonderful testimonial. Folks, I'm going to share the screen and show you exactly how to go and get all of this, okay? So you can go right to the salesbar.com, or you can hit this from the Factor 8 page, but you're going to come in and view our programs. And that's going to give you a chance to take a single class. Look, $77 plus the 25%, that's ridiculous, okay? So there's no excuse. Go get good at this. You can just take referrals. You can take a 6-pack of courses for account managers, or you can get a 12-pack /subscription and earn a certification. And it's these certifications that we can help you fund now. All right, so once you jump in, I went into classes for account managers. And these are some of the ones that you're going to find out there. Referrals are just one of the courses that you need to really make a difference in your pipeline. Once you get the course, this is what it looks like. Welcome to the sales bar, everybody. This is the front screen where we serve up all kinds of good stuff, and I want to show you a couple people's favorites. Now, if you like these sales shots, you can find these and hundreds of things like it in the video library. If you're a manager, these are great to use for sales huddles. It's great to use for team meetings. Just a little quick dose of some inspiration at the beginning of the day. I love that. But everybody's favorite is the recorded call library. If you don't have access to recorded calls at your work, you need to hear other people selling and doing these skills over the phone. It's probably the #1 difference maker in shortening your ramp time and mastery. Look at all of these calls, folks. And you bet we redact them, but you bet we show the good and the bad and the ugly. Okay, here we go, farming. Nice. All right, I have now searched for account managers. And here are all the different classes and what it's going to look like before you click in. So different than most providers, this isn't just a video that you get. You really get a mastery system. So let's dig in and look at the Gaining Referrals course. Everything we do is 3 steps: learn, show, prove. Because one video ain't going to cut it. We've got to interact with it. We've got to buy into it. We've got to practice it. We've got to put it into action. We've got to know what good looks like. And we give you and your manager all the tools to do that. Okay? So when you come in to learn, you're going to get a video telling you what it's like and a quiz. But what you get is an e-learning. And that's very, very different than a video. Why? Because you have to play along. It's closer to a video game than a video. You got to make decisions along the way. I'll show you in a second. Now you're going to get stuff to help make it your own. You're going to get a cheat sheet to help you focus on it through the day. Put it right by your phone next to your computer. You're going to get a skill showcase to help you customize it. I give you examples from SaaS, from pharmaceutical, from furniture. But what's your industry and what's your product? This is going to help you plan it out. Then you're also going to get activities to go do it and make some fun out of it. And finally, ways to actually prove you're doing it right. Let me show you what that looks like. Here's the e-learning. I randomly opened it up to about slide 14. And here it is. What are the 3 things we need? I got to click on each to jump in and see it. And guess what? Every time you make a click, you're burning pathways in your brain. So we do as many as we can. So this is what we talked about. What was the win? What was the rave? And then I can click it and get a tip. What's the next thing? Oh yeah, the timing. What's the tip? And the contact. And what's the tip? Then I move on to the next. Okay? I've got to make a choice here and select. It's interactive. That's the key to retention. If you want to really get good at something and master it, you got to retain it first. This is the skill showcase where you're going to plan yours out. We write down the steps so you can refer right to the training, push it right to the skill showcase, and the outcome is your very own script. And in the end, here's the coaching guide. Want to know if you're doing it right? Want to know if others are? Use the call feedback form and listen to recorded calls. Go back and listen to your call. You're not sure exactly what it's supposed to look like. Here it is, the description of what you're doing, the description of what the customer is doing. You got this. All the tools there are to help you master it, because we don't really get the results until we master, right? Okay, folks, I want to remind you one more time. This is what it looks like when you click into the certification for account managers. Look at these courses included. I've shown you this before, the account manager certification, and now I just showed you what it looks like online. But here's some results that you can expect. You know, some of the very first training I built were for account managers, and I love it. It's so easy to get busy as an account manager and just spend your time taking orders from your best customers. But it's so hard to get strategic and find where are the pockets of growth, then bringing up those business conversations and diving in to find that growth. So often we find our top accounts aren't really our best growth opportunities. And those are some of the ahas that we had at Ingram Micro. I mean, these folks found a ton of new pipeline in just 3 months. They went from under quota to 120% of goal, which makes a big difference in the commission check, right? And at Lead Venture, I love this. We actually doubled the annual contract value for their account managers. So same amount of work, but double the dollars each time. So we're really proud of that. We'd love to help you get these results too, whether it's you, your team, you and your buddy, or the entire organization. There's never been a better time to go from interesting tips to deep learning and mastery so you can see the difference. Don't forget to go fill out the form at factor8.com/fed. If you just want to get this class and you want to check it out for $50, factor8.com/referral. Amy, if I messed that up, put it back in chat again, will you? I love how you created those short links, but I don't always get it right. If you're new to Factor 8, to the sales bar, to me, let's make sure we connect, please, on LinkedIn. You'll also find information about my passion project called Girls Club, where we help more women in sales get to the top of the organization. I'm going to stay here for another minute or two in case you have any questions. I'm so happy that you joined us today. I hope you'll come back and join us at our next one. And by the way, enter that pitch contest because you can win real money doing that. And it's kind of a fascinating thing, this whole new channel called Pitchfire. I've tried it and I've gotten meetings from it, and it's pretty cool. So, all right, I'm going to hang with you. Thank you so much for being here, everybody. I'll stop the share and say our goodbyes. Have a really, really great rest of June.